WMNH Rip the Knob Off.
That is Don't Ya by GrimRock, as we are in hour number 2, numero dos of Matt Connarton Unleashed on this Saturday morning, April 13, 2024, from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM on Canal Street in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire. And I believe we have GrimRock with us live via Skype. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Matt, how you doing?
Good. How are you? Welcome back.
I appreciate being back. This is great.
So, by the way, so I had something planned. So you sent us this wonderful package, and unfortunately, the video component of our Facebook feed is not working. I wanted to pull this out live on the air and kind of show everybody on video, but radio is theater of the mind, so that's all right. But I had waited on this, although Jenny's got a video going, so you sent us this wonderful package, which I'm unboxing now. So Jenny's getting video of it, but are you streaming that live, or are you just recording it?
I'm just recording it.
Just recording it. Okay.
I did it very quickly.
But Grim, you sent us this this 5-song EP, and you personalized it to Matt and Jenny. Thank you. And some stickers. We've got a button.
Yep.
And a guitar pick. Very cool. And by the way, I want you to know, you can't see it on video today, unfortunately, but we are going to take a picture afterward. Jenny and I are both wearing our shirts that you had given us. They're GrimRock
I love my
shirts.
GrimRock shirt.
Oh, this is wow. You really sent us you went all out on this. This is very cool.
I think I'm going to make a frame for that.
We're going to have to take
There's a lot of pictures here.
Yeah.
And I think that will look really cool to frame them up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll hang that in the office.
We can do something, too, where we spread these out on a table and take a picture and post it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll definitely get a picture to show you, and I'll add stickers to my computer. I have the rainbow sticker that you gave me on my computer.
Sweet. I need to reorder those. I'm out of those.
Yeah. Oh, there's a couple guitar picks in here. Dude, you went all out. Thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, you're
awesome.
welcome. I'm glad to be able to send things like that to people we know.
Oh, Will, we love you. We love your music. And if people don't see your logo now, check us out at the Matt Connarton Unleashed page, and you'll be able to see the logo in a little bit here.
Nice.
Yeah. I love that. I had to play Don't You because I love that song so much. Yeah, if you are just joining us, GrimRock is here with us via Skype. And by the way, if you have any questions or feedback or anything at all for our guest, the studio line is open. You can call us live on the air at 603-250-6007. 603-250-6007. You can also, of course, interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. I see Miriam Banish has joined us in there. And Louis Tivey is in the Facebook live chat, and he says, legend. Yeah, you and he, now we've had him on the show as well. You and he did something together, correct?
We've done a few things together. He was actually responsible. The haunted video, a section in there, the goth model, that's his wife.
Oh, no kidding.
Nice.
Yeah, he sent the video footage clear from Staffordshire, UK, and I integrated it in with the footage that I did here. It was completely DIY. It was really good. We've done all kind of things though.
That's really cool.
Is that how we met him, through you, or did we meet you through him, or how did?
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him through me because I got it from someone else. You know what I mean? It was kind of everything's passed on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. Now, where in Pennsylvania are you again? Refresh our memories.
I'm just outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay. And what's been going on with you? You've got some news. I remember Jenny and I think we were watching it live, in fact. You were signing a deal live on, was it on Facebook? You were signing a distribution deal?
Yeah, I did it on, I actually did it on YouTube and posted it everywhere. But yeah, it's through Golden Robot Records. And I actually got a little story for that one. So almost 2 years to the week before this all happened, I had seen a post for a singles competition, and I had just put out GrimRock Radio, the single, and I was really super excited about the song, and I'd sent it. Well, a couple weeks later, I was watching the podcast that was helping sponsor the competition, and the guy was like, don't bore us, get to the chorus. And I was like, that's it. So that actually caused me to change the track to have the lights out, burn it down at the very beginning to lead it in.
Yeah.
And I also messed the application up. I was so excited about it. I ended up putting 2 songs and not a photo in a song. It was just all. But anyway, I saw another post that they were looking to put on some people for distribution. And I was like, well, I'll try it. And I sent an email. And took a little while, and they got back, and they asked for music, and I was like, well, here we go again. So I sent them a couple tracks, and it was like 10 minutes, and they come back, and I was like, wow. And here I am,
Very good. Now, so for those, and we have a lot of people who listen to the show who are musicians, of course, or some who are involved in other elements of the business. So for those who don't know, for the uninitiated, so what does that do for you exactly, a distribution deal, and why is that important to have?
For me, I mean, as an independent artist, we all can do distribution ourselves through different platforms. I was doing it through DistroKid. And the real process, the thing that I'm looking forward to for this is actually the reach. So basically you're going to send the music to whatever company you have a distribution deal with. They'll redistribute it for you, and it'll be on their page. So you get their exposure, their reach, some different things like that. They do some PR. In this case, I'll be sending the GR5 album to them as a release. And then several months later, I'll be probably doing another release for them, and which will be really cool. And hopefully I can kind of pick up, maybe opening acts, in the area for people that are on their label and stuff. I mean, there's still more to be talked about with this, but I have high hopes with it, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, very cool. Now the EP. So now this is already out, right? This has been released, or are you waiting for them to release it?
No, I still have a couple tracks, and I got to send them those as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so Angry is one that's on, I believe, is it on that sampler?
Yeah, Angry is track 1 on the sampler.
That is something that's not out yet, and that will be part of the tracks that nobody has really heard. You know what I mean? So,
okay, cool. Yeah, because we've got, and also this track Abyss, which I think we're going to play at the end of the segment, and you've got it says lyrics by Angel. What does that say?
Angel Vow.
Angel Vow. Now, who is that? And why are you? Why do they have? Because I assume the lyrics for your other songs you've written them yourself, right?
Yeah, Faded will be one that's Jason Clem, and then I have some other ones in the process. So Angel is actually a friend of mine, and she lives in the Pittsburgh area.
Yeah.
And we've talked for a long time. We've met, we've gone to football games, stuff like that. And she's actually a writer. She writes books, and she's self-published, and she's doing really well with that. And one day we were talking about some stuff, and I was like, well, I had other people, send me lyrics, like City. City was a poem that I changed into music from Matt Oyster. But so she sent me the stuff for Abyss, and we put it together.
Yeah.
And that, I'm telling you, that really had changed my whole perspective of things when I did that particular song. Just a series of events happened that just really unlocked everything, I think, for where we're sitting today. You know what I mean? And everything from the model that was in the video to the person who shot the video. We did it in Cleveland, Ohio. I had another interview with a different podcast, and their mixing guy, Matt Kirshner, actually had messaged me afterwards and wanted to mix the song and do it.
Oh,
it turned into a long-term thing, and he's actually at Pine Box Studios in Connecticut. So I send him tracks, he mixes them and sends them back, and that's what that particular disc has. It's new mixes of the tracks that I have, with the exception of Abyss. Abyss was released as his mix. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool when you hear from somebody you don't expect to, and they're like, "Hey, I like what you're doing so much. I want to mix this for you." That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was completely blown away, and I thought it was just going to be one, and I was like, well, we'll check it out, and all this, and it ended up being everything, and he's going to finish mixing this disc, and hopefully I get to work with him more, in the future, man. He's a cool dude.
That's fantastic. Louis Tivey in the chat room says, "You Belong, You See" is the best song.
He says that. He's told me that a million times.
Has he? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because like I said, his wife's in Haunted. I kind of expected Haunted to be the best song, but he likes "You Belong, You See." A lot of people like that, and I actually open my shows with the new Angry track and "You Belong, You See" tied together.
Oh,
so
okay.
It makes one longer track. So yeah, that's super cool.
Now who is this posing with the guitar on the cover?
That is my cover model, and that's another thing that happened, like in the process of this whole Abyss thing. I had an interview actually with her. She does little interviews on her YouTube channel, and she goes by the name of Tattoo Baby 23 on all the social media, including YouTube. And one day I was perusing her page, and I saw that photo, and I was like, man, that would make a great album cover.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd messaged her, and I was like, hey, anybody uses for album cover? She's like, no, nobody has yet, and I was like, well, if nobody does, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't hear anything for a while, and I was like, well, maybe I'll message her back. So I messaged again about it, and she's like, yeah, go ahead. And she talked to her guy that actually took the photo. It was done in Texas by a guy named David Diaz.
Yeah.
And they were really cool with it, and that turned into the cover for GR5 and a long-term relationship with her with different things.
Yeah.
And man, I'm thankful for everything that's happened since that whole Abyss thing happened. I mean, it just so many twists and turns.
Yeah.
And
no, that's really cool. By the way, why is it called GR5? Is it your fifth release?
So technically, it's my fifth release. I had four out technically. So 3 actual EPs, and then I actually had a single called "Everything Is on Fire," and it's actually in a different tuning, and I haven't done anything else in that tuning. So I kind of left it stranded, and I was like, well, that'll have to be my fourth kind of release. It was just a single,
Yeah.
So it's just GrimRock 5. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us again about, and I'm sure we talked about it last time, but your recording process? Am I remembering correctly that you do everything yourself?
Yes, I do everything in house. I have a little home studio. I have drum kits, bass guitars. I have everything at my disposal here. I do all the recording and all the vocals and things, and I preliminarily mix them. And now, like I said, I send them Matt, but before I was actually doing the mixing stuff here, and I was getting the aid of the e-mastering kind of thing online to help me mix and master better, than what I could.
Yeah.
But I have an advantage now, so.
Yeah. No, that's great to be able to do everything yourself. Have you done it that way from the beginning?
Yes, I have. I've played with bands before and different things. And,
yeah.
I live just far enough south of Pittsburgh that I'm in a little spot that just, everybody wants to play cover tunes and, hit the bar scene on the weekends and make the guaranteed money. And nobody wants to take the risk, to play stuff even in the spot that, I keep pushing to,
Yeah.
They're just not comfortable with, well, we're not making any money on it. We're doing it here,
Right.
And it's just kind of been whatever. And I mean, hopefully one day I get to have a full band to play out with. That'd be really, really cool.
So what is it like now when you play out? Is it just you, or does anyone ever join you, or how does that work?
Well, it's just me. So what I have is I have all the backing tracks on the tablet with minus every guitar part and all the vocals.
Okay.
So it kind of puts me in a spot where I have to play the guitar, and then I break from the rhythm guitars to play the lead guitar. And it sounds a little thin through those areas, but, it shows that I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's more important to me than the overall thing. Give you a little different performance, show you that I am doing it. And I do all the vocals. And Don't You's a cool one because, I have that backing vocal in it, and I actually have to take real quick breaths to put all that stuff in together. So I actually do play it, and it does actually sound like that in there. So when I play it live.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. But yeah, I can see where that would be a challenge to do that.
Oh yeah, especially at the end. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah. No doubt. How long do you play for when you play out? How long of a set do you do?
Generally 40 to 45 minutes, depending on where I'm at. Sometimes, I hit a lot of open mics around the area to try to get some local action.
Yeah.
Which I do have some news that nobody knows yet.
Oh. That you're going to share here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Awesome.
They haven't announced it, but I got an email this morning from Millville Music Festival.
Uh-huh.
And that's around the Pittsburgh area, and it's a really large festival, and they have like 300 local bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I got selected for it. So May 18th.
Oh.
I can't say much more than that because they have to confirm times and all that. But May 18th, I will be playing a festival there. So that'll be 2 festivals now that I'm guaranteed this year. And
Nice.
I'm waiting for a third one from Morgantown. So hopefully I get that one as well.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, festivals are huge, are key for really helping you to build a fan base, because it gets you in front of a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't know you at all necessarily, and so that's fantastic. Now, so you mentioned there's another festival that you're already confirmed for?
Yeah, July 5th. It's Lamb Fest. It's an inaugural festival. It's going to be near Erie, PA, and Linesville, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And they're doing 4 weekends, like a ton of artists, and I'm on the inaugural weekend day, Friday the 5th, and I'm actually the third act, I think, or second act or something like that.
Yeah.
On the second stage, so
okay,
it'll be really cool. It's all open air. I can't wait. I love playing open air shows.
Do you? Yeah. Why? What is it about it that you like?
It's just the environment, you're just not closed in, the sound just travels, and just, it's the people, it's a whole different thing,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. When you play out, do you do the whole, because obviously if people have seen you online, you've got a whole vibe going. I don't know quite how else to describe it, but it's kind of theatrical and whatnot. Do you do that for all your live shows?
I do it for most of them. So if I do an open mic and it's an acoustic, or it's something that I know I'm going to play only like 3 or 4 songs, I don't get all painted up.
Yeah.
But, for my normal shows and the festivals and things like that, I definitely get painted up for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any live videos of you online, or obviously you have videos, but do you have any? I'm curious if, partly just selfishly, I'm curious to see what it's like live. Do you have anything live recorded?
Yes, I
online?
do. I have on my YouTube page a bunch of live stuff, and it's funny you should ask that. I had an incident where I was at the Rock Room in Pittsburgh. I think it was this past September, I think, where the YouTube I was going to stream the whole thing, and my wife was helping me stream, and the stream failed.
Oh,
And somehow or another, I ended up with a video that had like portion of the product and the whole GrimRock radio, but it was in great quality. I was really kind of, I couldn't believe my phone with the mic on it took that.
yeah.
But apparently she had took that in between and went back live. Well, live sounds terrible because of the situation. It was a small thing. It was very loud.
Yeah.
My mic didn't do a very good job, and it was really jittery on the YouTube. But I ended up finding that, and I actually just posted that. I don't know, I think this past Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
But GrimRock Radio live performance at the Rock Room in Pittsburgh is one of the last ones I posted. I posted up for the Hard Rock in Pittsburgh not too long ago. That one's audio. I lost the video.
Oh.
But I have other live videos on there.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
different places. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. No, I'm curious to take a look at those. Do you have other artists in the area that you play with in terms of that you open for? Or are they open for you?
Yeah, there's several people. I've made a lot of friends, with that. And Choshek's one of them. Synestesia's another one. Vernautica. There's just a whole bunch of people around within the region, that I've talked to or opened for or played with.
Yeah.
But I keep in a really good contact with like Choshek though, especially Jeremy, the bass player. We talk all the time. We actually talked this morning before I come on. But yeah, I mean, it's just you make a bond, with some of these musicians, and you're usually somewhere where everybody's at. God Hates Unicorns is another one around the area that I'm friends with. It's just
That's a great name.
Oh, it is. Oh, they're a great band too. They really are.
Oh, we might have to get them on. God Hates Unicorns. That's a fantastic name. Very cool. I mean, but you kind of stand out, right? I mean, obviously, for what you're doing, I mean, is there anybody in your area who's doing anything like what you're doing? It just seems like the GrimRock is so unique with the whole vibe and your sound too. I can't think of anybody. I mean, Louis Tivey, from what I recall when we had him on, a little bit of I can see why the two of you are able to work together, but you've got a unique sound. It's got a little bit of I know we talked about it before, but to me, it's got a little bit of almost a garage rock kind of vibe to it. And I don't know. I mean, is there anybody there who's doing anything like what you're doing?
I don't think so. There's a band that's around the area that has, I think they wear masks. That they're called 13 Occult. I've talked to them. They play some different places. I hope to play a show with them. But
yeah,
outside of that, there's not very many people that I know around here that's, got a stage thing like that or sounds like that. And you're right, it is more garage rock, because I'm a fan of like, especially the late 60s garage rock sound, that raw sound. And I try to reproduce that,
yeah,
faithfully, but update it like I do, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Stephen Van Zandt used to have a show. I don't think it exists anymore, and maybe it hasn't for a long time. I don't even remember what it was called. I don't know if you ever heard it though. It was, but it was all, that's what it was about. His show, I think it was on satellite radio, was all about garage rock. Because there's so much of that stuff that, most people aren't even aware of, or bands that they might have heard of, but have never actually listened to. But it's a fascinating genre, and I really like that production style. And like I said, that song "Don't Ya," I just it's got that whole vibe to it, and I just really love it. And and it's catchy as hell too. It's just really, it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah, I like that and GrimRock Radio, like the two that I really like playing live, and
Yeah,
they're more the commercial sounding, thing that maybe somebody would play on a real radio, mainstream radio.
yeah.
Versus maybe the rest of them, even though I do try to keep everything somewhat that it could get moved over, but it's still kind of the indie style, kind
Right.
of thing. I try to blend it the best I can.
Are people surprised when you play out, when you are painted up, and it's because it's almost visually, it's got a little bit of a goth vibe, but then it's not that. Do you surprise people? And if you do, is it fun to surprise people? Because I would imagine it is.
I think I do. I think I catch people off guard with that because I think they're expecting like Slipknot. Like, oh, they see this and they're like, oh, this guy's going to be ultra heavy. And, I think I've gotten a couple shows, like the Rock Room's one of them, that I think that they thought maybe I was heavier than I was, and I ended up being like, I felt like I was like, like light rock, like Air Supply and that whole thing. Because those guys were heavy and they were lights out bands. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I think I do catch people off guard with that, and once, people see me like that, I think they, they're in the perception they have of it changes and they're like, wow, this guy, he actually sounds all right. At least I hope so.
Yeah. That's got to be fun though too, right? I mean, at least I know that if I were in that position, I would take some sort of perverse joy in that. Like people think that one thing is about to happen and then it turns out to be something else, and just seeing the surprise on people's faces, I would think that would be fun.
Oh, it is. You open a show and you're like, and then you just start into something. You don't really even introduce yourself. Like I that's one of the things that I do every show is I do not introduce myself right away.
Yeah.
I'll rip out a couple tracks and then I'll tell you who I am if you haven't figured it out by then.
Right.
But I'll do that. And, another thing I do is I travel like that. So if I have like the Green Beacon Galleries, June 8th, that's in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. So I'll travel that in my paint. So usually when I do that kind of stuff, I'll like stop in a store and pick up a monster or something. And I'll either scare the crap out of everybody or I'll have somebody take a picture. I had somebody say, it's not Halloween. I'm like, yeah, but it's so cool. And they're like, can I have your picture? I'm like, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Little kids running away, in a dollar store, like, oh yeah. I come out of his sheets. I picked up, it's talking about Angel. I come out of his sheets up where she lives at to travel to Cleveland for the first photo shoot for Abyss.
Yeah.
And this lady was like in her thing and she cracked her window in her car. I'll have to have Angel send you this.
Yeah.
She cracked her window in her car and she's like, why are you so scary? I'm like, do I look scary? She's like, yeah. I'm like, but I'm not really scary. She's like, no. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hey, can I get a picture with you? She's like, and then she did, like, I think reluctantly, but I ended up posting her on my webpage. She was really cool about it afterwards, but
no kidding.
Oh yeah, she cracked her window and all, man. Hey, rolling into a gas station in Erie after a gig, that's a whole nother thing there. Like I thought the guy was going to hit the alarm.
Oh really? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to pay for my gas so I can get home, Like,
yeah. If you walked into a bank like that, they would hit the alarm, I'm sure.
Oh I wouldn't make it out of there. I'd be detained fairly fast, I'm sure.
Ever try to fly?
No, not like that.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't advise it. But
yeah, I think TSA wouldn't like that either.
They would not. They would not let you on, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know if you're a Kiss fan, but hearing you talk about that reminds me of there's these pictures of when Kiss first started of them in New York City and interacting with different people, and it's New York, so people don't really. They expect to see everything and anything. And there's these pictures of Kiss like sitting on park benches with these old people who are just kind of smiling serenely at them because they don't know, they don't really know what's going on, but they're kind of having fun with it. And they're great pictures. I would encourage anyone to just Google that, like Kiss New York City park bench or something. You'll see all these really fun pictures of Kiss when they started. And but again, it's New York too, so people were less shocked, I guess, and more just kind of interested but because you'll see everything in that city. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I would imagine too. Other musicians must like after a show, after they see your set, they probably they're probably express their surprise at what they saw. And I'm sure that opens up a lot of opportunities too, because if you can surprise people, especially if you can surprise your fellow musicians in that way, and in a positive way, because you've got such a cool sound, that helps you to kind of build those connections, because they're going to remember, if you can surprise someone, they're going to remember you. Whereas if otherwise, you might just be another fellow musician, or you might just be, if it's someone who's seen you, somebody in that audience who's seen you for the first time, just another rock and roll show, right? But if you can surprise people, they will absolutely remember you. You will be indelibly etched in their brain, and I think that's a very cool element to what you do. Is that surprise where the image you see visually doesn't necessarily evoke what is coming, and I think that's really cool.
Oh yeah, and that's how I ended up getting the Hard Rock Pittsburgh gig.
Really,
was because of, a different band that messaged me like, "Hey, there's an opportunity. You might want to check this guy out." And that's how I ended up getting that. And you're right. I mean, a lot of connections can be made, because of that. And I really believe that, I mean, I know I paint up, but I really believe if I did not have the face painting and a persona that was out there like that, I wouldn't be seen the same. You know what I mean? I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, in a couple of moments, Grim, we're going to play this track Abyss, which you were talking about earlier. But so this is not officially out, GR5. Do we have any kind of an ETA on when this is going to be released?
So I would like to tell you, yes, I do, but I've been at this for a while. I'm just trying to make sure everything is right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's taken me way longer, with other commitments and things that's going on. And I wish I could have a time or a time frame, but I'm just, I'm hoping a month or two, more pressing on with this to get it released. So
yeah, excellent. And this track Abyss, this has not been heard anywhere on the radio yet?
It actually was played on an independent radio station before, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going for the world radio premiere.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could have told you. I didn't want to tell you otherwise. You know what I mean?
No, no, better to be honest. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved for it to be a premiere, believe me, but it's not.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll get the next one. But where should people go online? Where's the best place for people to go to keep up with everything that you're doing?
Best place is GrimRockandRoll.com, all spelled out, all one word, and you can find me everywhere that way. And actually, if you put Grim Rock and Roll spelled out anywhere, you can find me. So
yes, absolutely. And you are very Googleable, as I like to say, which is important. So very good.
I mean, I'm surprised I come up the way I do.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. That's good. All right, Grim, we're gonna hit this track Abyss. We'll let you go in a moment, but thank you again for joining us today, and thank you for the wonderful package. Like I said, unfortunately, our video component isn't working this morning, but Jenny and I will take a picture of it later, and we're also going to take a picture of us in we've both got our Grim shirts on, our GrimRock shirts that you sent us before. We love these, and we wear them any chance that we get, so we appreciate that, and really love the music, love what you're doing.
Well, I definitely appreciate being on here for a second time. I'm really, really thankful for that, and I appreciate all the time you have given me. And I'm glad you like your stuff, man. That logo sells, man. I'm telling you.
I love that logo. I really do.
Yeah,
it's on my computer.
Yeah. She's got the sticker on her computer too. Yeah,
I put the new one on there too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sweet.
Absolutely. All right, Grim. Thank you so much, GrimRock. And we will wrap up the segment with this. This is Abyss.